So, Horse with No Name, one of the coolest jam songs ever. Yep, it's pretty old, but then so am I. So it really works out well. It's a good way to learn a really good jamming scale, the E minor pentatonic. And of course, 3 strings instead of 6 strings. We have to do a little compromising on the chords, but I'm going to use the same names for the chords. I'm tuned to E today, E, B, E. And this works great if you're tuned to G or wherever, especially for jamming. So the first chord is going to be E minor. And the second chord is called D 6/9. We're not going to get into that. But this is as close as we can get, or as close as I can get. Maybe you'll come up with something else. So when you play it, it's... And there's a specific rhythm to it. Everybody seems to interpret a little bit differently. This is how I do it. Down, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then I go to the D 6/9. And I go down, up, down, up, like that. So that's down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Like that. You get good at that, speed it up, should sound something like this. All right. That's all you need to know about that. The scale that goes with it is E minor pentatonic, which is great for E blues and all sorts of stuff. So while I was doing that, I made a little loop, which I'll play for you. And then I'm going to play the E minor pentatonic scale slowly over top of it. And you'll hear that each note works with the chords. So the only thing you have to avoid is the G note, 3rd fret. And that's I started the scale on that. You just sort of note dwell on that note when you're playing this chord. And that's a really common thing. Whenever you find a scale that goes with a song, there's almost always some kind of little conflict. And a good thing to do is to look for them, and then that's all you have to avoid, right? So the song is going... So obviously this note works, this note works, that note works, that note works, this note works. And I'll tell you a little trick, is you can actually, when you have a different chord like that, you can add that note in because it's in the chord. And it'll be here over 2. So I'll kind of show you how to do that with some licks. Oh, by the way, you can also carry the scale up here, E minor pentatonic. Maybe I'll demo a little of that too. You can have fun with this for hours and hours and hours. So you can just sort of drift along like that, and I'll show you how you can sort of fit in the little F sharp note if you want. So there's a couple examples of jamming along with it, and you notice you don't really need to add in the off note, you just sort of avoid it. You'll do it anyway because once you hear it and it sounds not quite right, you kind of avoid that at that time. It works the rest of the time. And I also showed you how you can incorporate that one note, and that's true for any song. If a book says that this scale goes with this song with these chords, and you're playing the chords and you're hitting these notes that are off, look at the notes in the chord. And I bet you one of them will be a half step sharp or flat. And just at that time, either avoid that note at that time or add the other note in. Change it at that time. And yes, there's names for this stuff, but who cares? Let's just jam.